What's up, Ranger fans? PR Mayhem back with a brand new video. Sorry I've been gone away so long, but hopefully this will make up for it. This is my detailed review, very detailed review, on the new Legacy Power Morpher from the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series. When this was originally announced, I was very skeptical of it, unlike a lot of people, because I was very loyal to the original Power Rangers show, in that I thought the toys were fantastic from the series, especially from the original ones, and that I thought that no changes needed to be made for the Legacy Morpher. I thought just a straight re-release from the 93 version would have been absolutely fine, and that I thought that it was a mistake adapting it and changing it along the way. And I'm glad to say, and glad to report, that I've been proven wrong. There are some changes to the new Legacy Morpher that, in my opinion, make this slightly better than the original Power Rangers Power Morpher, even with the repro labels and the gold plates and all the other things. A lot of the changes are basic material changes, which even then makes the world of difference. For example, the pieces for the new Legacy Morpher are die-cast, so they're made of metal. It's got a lot of a heavier, bulkier feel to it, and in my opinion, it's more of a replica slash prop than it is an actual toy, simply because for the price of it, it's very expensive for a relatively small toy for a child. Plus the fact that there are die-cast pieces which are metal, and I just got this feeling that this isn't catered towards children. I think it's more catered to adults who were children when the original Power Rangers series came out. That's just my opinion. I mean, let me know what you guys think. But I think this is what this is for, because the size of it and everything, if they did a straight re-release of the 93 version where the Morpher was smaller, I could see, yes, them catering it towards children. But the way they've enlarged this and changed the materials so it's got a bulkier, sort of more realistic feel to the Power Morpher, I certainly think it was catered towards adults who were children back in the day. I mean, I myself, when the Power Rangers came out back in 93, I was only 5 years old, so I was the perfect age for them to market towards. And I think this thing's awesome now. I'll go into the review of the Morpher itself, how the coins have changed, how the coins have improved, the functions have been improved, the detailing on the Morpher, how it's more screen accurate, etc., etc. As of right now, I haven't read anything online. I've been on Ranger Board in a couple of days, or a couple of weeks rather, as far as a possibility of a green or white Ranger Power Morpher coming out. The original 93 release, we only got a silver Morpher for the original 5 Rangers with 5 coins. We never got an American Green Ranger coin or White Ranger coin that was show accurate. We got the sort of like Wildcat coin that came with the Tigerzord back in the day, but never an official accurate coin release, which is disappointing. I think that if they had released, or if they do release, a Green Ranger Morpher or a White Ranger Morpher, whatever you want to call it, a Tommy Morpher, that's what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it a Tommy Morpher. If they release a Tommy Oliver Morpher, maybe next year or whatever, to coincide with this the following year, now they've got this out, I think personally they'd sell a very large amount of them. I know some replica makers, prop makers on Ranger Board have started making Power Ranger chips in the style of the Green and White Ranger coins, along with gold plates to match the Legacy Morpher. I probably won't be going into that because a lot of people doing that are getting it specifically for the reason of cosplay. I won't be cosplaying with this particular prop. Why, I'll explain a little bit later on in the video. So this is my in-depth review. I hope you enjoy it. I really like the packaging to this. It's a very sort of old school and pays a lot of homage to the original 1993 packaging. The fact that the Morpher itself is left exposed along with the coins, just like the package back in the day was when it was released in 93 or 94, I'm not sure, along with the Blade Blaster toy. So I'm very pleased about that. You've got the old school Power Rangers logo along with the old Saban logo there in the corner. I'm glad they used this version of the logo rather than the revisioned one from, I think it was 2010. There you've got Legacy Power Morpher, the Power Rangers 20th anniversary emblem. You've got the random sort of signs that just sort of say light and sounds, die-cast, sort of telling you about the piece without too much detail. You've got the 5 set Rangers here, red, yellow, pink, blue and black. And of course, as usual, you'll notice there's someone missing. Once again, no White Ranger, no Green Ranger, and as of this recording, I've not heard anything about a Green or White Ranger Legacy Morpher release, which does upset me a little bit, I'll be perfectly honest. I'm very happy with the changes they made to this, but I'm once again gutted that we have been cheated out of our green and white Ranger morphers. I'm aware that a couple of people like Starlight Studios, I think, and Jess and a couple of other people are starting to make coins of the Green Ranger and White Ranger for this morpher, along with gold plates. I personally probably won't be getting them for reasons I'll explain later on. So you move over to the side and you've got an advertisement for the Red Armoured Ranger along with the old Power Rangers logo. Over to the other side you've got the set group there, red down to yellow. Same up at the top, and then down at the bottom you've got sort of your Made in China, specifics and warnings. So very nice box overall, very good for display. The fact that sort of the morpher is right there and you've got the coins either side, very good indeed. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to open it up and give you a look at the coins in the morpher itself. And there you have the Legacy Power Morpher. This is much more show accurate than the one that was released in '93. You've got the black bolts either side with the show accurate red part, Power and Rangers. Many people remember from the '93 release that a lot of people were upset about. The Morpher was released upside down with the handle at the top, along with inaccurate stickers saying Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers on the bottom, with not even it being the right font. So a lot of happy people as far as show accuracy here. You've got heavy duty metal plates. You've got the metal die cast coin in the centre that's a lot more sort of weathered, like the old Zhu Ranger coins, more so than the Power coins. They were obviously used to top, and from the show they were actually toys, they weren't actually metal pieces. Whenever they had mentioned getting morphers in interviews and stuff, they always said when they needed a morpher for the actual show, they'd just pop out to the local toy store and buy a morpher and stick labels on it. So they were actually toys from the show. On the back you've got a very nice detail, and this is actually from the Zhu Ranger show over in Japan, the Super Sentai show. You've got the Z for Zhu Rangers, which actually forms as the button for the release for the coin, which I'll show you in just a moment. You've got the nice detailing. You've got the colours on the handle and at the bottom here. So you've got red, yellow, black, pink and blue. You've got the two red spots either side, and then you've got the actual metal handle that clips up and clips down. Very nice indeed. At the top, once you clip the handle down, you've got an on-off switch here. That'll actually activate the sound, the lighting and sound, so when you've got it switched off, it just stays stagnant, so nothing you do, it won't actually make any noises or anything. When you turn it on, that's pretty cool. Even for the activation sound on the morpher, it shows the it just lets off the communicate sound here. Once again, a very cool addition to this replica. Very impressed with that. It's a small thing, but it does an awful lot for it. I must say, it does impress me. For the actual morpher itself, when you press the Z on the back here, it actually pops out the coins. A lot of you remember that it actually had the tabs on the coins from the original '93 release, where you'd sort of insert it and twist it so it would fit, but you press the Z on the back here and the coin pops out very smoothly. It's got sort of two clips, you can see probably just there, and when you want to put it back in, if I just straighten this out, pop it back in, all you've got to do is press it in place and you're good to go. Want it out again, just press it. And even there on the back you've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Very impressive indeed. And now for the part that was missing from the '93 release, which is the holster for the Power Morpher. In Japan, when the Dino Buckler, the Japanese Power Morpher, was released, it actually had a separate holster that you could use for either playing with to attach to your belt or for cosplay reasons, etc. This was never in the '93 release in the American version though. Only the Morpher, the coins and the Blade Blaster were. It's a very small detail, but it does make all the difference. It's obviously a larger version, considering the Legacy Morpher is larger. You've got two tabs there and there. No mini red tabs to clip the actual Morpher into place, but it really isn't needed, as I'll show you in a second. You've got the belt clips there, so it can slide onto your belt if you're just generally wearing it, or for cosplay purposes. It's actually fantastic for cosplay purposes. I personally probably won't cosplay with this, just because the Morpher is so heavy. It is die cast, so it's got a lot of weight to it and will probably just drag your belt down, which I don't want, so I'll continue to use the 93 version with the holster that I purchased on Ranger boards to fit it, or I'll just continue using my one-piece resin props for the Morpher buckles. Here I'll show you how it actually slots into place and how well it fits. So there you've got the actual holster, and it can either go in this way, it'll clip in nice and tight, so it's got a small gap in between there, but it's not going anywhere, so it's very, very secure, as I'll show you just now. So it's certainly not running away anywhere. Even, I mean, if you just look at it there, even just on its own, the holster does add an awful lot to it. Just as a display piece, it does make all the difference in the world. So you sort of have the show accurate effect there. Again, as I said, I personally wouldn't use it for cosplay, just because of the massive arch on it. It would stick out so much, considering the weight of the Morpher. You can also take it out. Nice heavy clip there. Reverse it, so you've got the Zoo Ranger symbol showing. Clip it into place. And there you've got it like it is on the Zoo Ranger show when they're not transformed into the Zoo Rangers. You've got this time no gap in between the Morpher and the holster this time, because this is the way it generally was worn. And there you've got a very cool sort of display piece with the Zoo Ranger symbol along with the coloured handle and 2 red spots and the decals there, which were stickers on the original toys but are actually etched into the plastic here. This part is actually plastic. To release this one, you don't actually pull, you just pull down the handle and it comes out. Very, very cool indeed. Get that there for now. And onto the coins. Here you've got Mastodon, Pterodactyl, Triceratops, Saber-tooth tiger. Again, they are more weathered than the original Bandai release ones back in '93. Some versions of the Bandai 93 coins have been released by prop makers and stuff with a weathered effect to match more the Zoo Ranger medallions than the original Morpher set. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to get my old Morpher out along with the coins and do a side-by-side comparison. And here they are. So in here you've got the original 93 release of the Power Morpher along with the custom made holster here that we didn't get with the original release. You've got Starlight Studio coins, not the original plastic ones. I don't think I've actually got any more of those. Here for a quick side-by-side comparison, I've got one of the actual one-piece props that I use for when I'm cosplaying as the Armoured Red Ranger. And here you've got the actual, if I just take it out here, you've got the Starlight Studios tribal coin as well. So I'm going to do a sort of a quick side-by-side comparison of the Morphers, same with the coins, and then go into the sound effects. And immediately you can tell the difference. You've got the one-piece resin prop at the top that I use for cosplay, the larger 93 Morpher in the middle that's been Replo labelled, and then you've got the Legacy Morpher at the bottom. I mean, even there you can see the difference. So this one is the smallest of the three, which is quite clear. But then you've got the 2 focal points, the 93 Morpher and the Legacy Morpher. There you can see a significant difference. If I line this up just at the bottom, I'll zoom out a tiny bit. Now that is roughly lined up at the bottom of the Morpher. So there's a good, I say, 10% large enlargement, maybe more, between the 2 Morphers from the 93 version to the current Legacy Morpher. Obviously this one's made of metal. There are die-cast pieces in it. It's not completely metal though. So it's got more of a shine to it, whereas this one's sort of more of a dull grey as it's plastic that's been spray painted. Side by side, if I just move that over there, you can see they're quite similar, but again a bit more of a bulky backside on the Legacy Morpher, considering that the details on this side actually come away from the Morpher itself. You've got the red button from the original 93 Morpher. The button on this one's actually been painted black, which personally I actually kind of miss the old red button because it was screen accurate. And if I just open it up here, you get sort of a lightning bolt effect when you open up this Morpher, whereas this one, if you press it lightly enough, you don't actually hear anything. Again, another cool thing that they've added to the Morpher itself, along with the transition on light up and sound effect of the communicator, which again is a small thing, but it just makes the world of difference. There you can see the significant difference. That's actually quite a good shot, unintentional good shot I might add, of how they line up. You can see there the Legacy Morpher is clearly bigger and clearly bulkier. Again, personally I think it's meant for more adults that were kids when the show was running than kids nowadays. As far as I'm going to get into the actual sound effects now. The original Morpher back in the day had a lot of issues with the sound effects. Batteries would die very quickly, and the actual sound effect you got was just sort of a loud beeping. And no matter how many Morphers you bought or whatever, if you bought two Morphers at the same store at the same time, they'd still have a different beeping tone. One would be fast, one would be slow, one would be high pitch, one would be low pitch, and sort of just gives off a really annoying sort of sound effect here. Which after a while will drive you insane. That's been changed for the Legacy Morpher, which I was very happy about. A lot of people said that they missed that sound. How would you miss that sound? It's so annoying. The Legacy Morpher have actually changed it so that not only do you hear the lightning bolt from the original morph sequence when they'd say it's morphin time, then the lightning bolt would show up on screen, which I think is a fantastic feature. You also hear the lightning bolt again at the end of the morph. It's also got the Power Rangers theme, so when they morphed, they'd say the name of their dinosaurs over the acoustic version of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme, which is what you do with the Legacy Morpher. When you open the Legacy Morpher, you hear the lightning bolt, and then you hear the Power Rangers theme. And it's not just a small snippet; it's an entire set, an entire, I guess, tune of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers theme, which I'll show you just now. Hopefully, I can hold it down long enough. I am right-handed, so bear with me. Right, so this is how it actually sounds when you. Oh, it's not closed properly. When you hold the button down, you'll hear the lightning bolt and then into the theme. Then you release it and you hear the lightning bolt going. I think that is the coolest feature of this new Morpher. Despite the fact that it's larger, more adult size, die cast, I think that is my favourite feature. Just a really sort of nice homage to the actual Ranger show back in the day. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of the new Legacy Morpher coins along with the old Starlight Studio ones. And here is a side-by-side comparison between the Starlight Studios original 93 Morpher coins and the new Legacy Morpher coins. As you can see, that there is a significant difference. The Starlight Studio ones at the top are obviously more attuned to the old 93 version. Obviously when it was released, came with plastic, very pale looking, more so sort of yellowy than gold and tintish coins. The detail in these ones are far superior, so it's not a fair representation between the newer Legacy coins and the old acrylic plastic coins from the 1993 release. So unfortunately I don't actually have any of the old coins, certainly that I know of, lying around, so I'll have to do a side-by-side comparison between these two, as it's the closest I can get to them. One of the things you'll notice right away is because of the functioning of the coins between this new Legacy Morpher version and the old one, the actual overall design has changed quite a bit. Here you see the Mastodon coin. You've got the tabs both in the top left side of the coin and the bottom right side of the coin. Obviously these slotted in to the original Morpher, went sort of sideways and then sort of spun them round, so they'd sort of then click in just there into place. Whereas with the Legacy coins now, you'd end up just popping them in straight like that and just pushing them into place, and then you can sort of rotate them if they're not sort of straight on and stuff like that. The actual coins from Starlight Studios were very, very good. They suited the Power Morpher very well. They were a lot yellowy type gold than the original 93 release plastic ones, and the sort of nugget filler really pops quite well there. But you actually get a lot more detail, I feel, on the new legacy coins. If I just line these up side by side, granted you don't have the tabs and you've got sort of just a dotted side like you do there, but you also get a sort of a more sort of, I don't know what the word is really, but just a more detailed look. See there, sort of, you've got the dent in the pterodactyl's wing, but there, because of the weathered effect on it, you can clearly see it. And also, I guess I think you call it the etching, is a lot deeper on the new legacy ones, the die-cast coins. Obviously the size is different as well. The legacy coins are a little bit larger, a little bit more bulky, so they've got a bit more weight to them. This one quite light, but it is still metal. But this one has just got a lot more sort of weight to it. The back of the coins were just plain. There was no design on them. There was nothing on them. Often you'd see sort of circles, production marking circles on the back of them from the 93 release. On the back here you've got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers official logo with TM there for the trademarking. Actually that's quite cool because of the circular sort of rings and lines going out forming the circle of the coin. You can see sort of the lighting there catches it really well. It's a very nice thing. Decent etching on that as well. And again here with the rest of them, you can just sort of see, if I just line them up, I'll just take out the Mastodon coin and line them up as well. Just pop that one out. Oh, there we go. It's not coming out. Hold on. There we go. As I go along, you can just sort of see the difference in detail. The legacy coins just seem to be overall far more detailed, deeper etching, and with the addition of the weathering effect, the design and the actual artwork just seems to pop a little bit more. Again, as I mentioned previously, there is no plans that I know of for a White Ranger or Green Ranger Morpher release, so we won't be seeing a Green Ranger coin unless you order one custom from a prop maker that's capable of producing one, which is rather unfortunate considering we were cheated almost out of our Green Power Ranger Morpher release back in '93. Anyway, that's it for this part of the review. These are just sort of my final thoughts on the actual Morpher itself. Being someone who's very skeptical of it when it was originally announced, because of my love for the original Morpher, I was almost against it just for tradition's sakes. I was very loyal to the original Morpher. I didn't think there was a need to change anything of it, but I think this sort of collector's edition now, I don't know if they're releasing more after they sell out of these ones that already have been made, or that if they're going to release a Green Ranger one or a White Ranger one. I really hope they do, but I highly doubt it. Although from what I understand, the demand for these ones have been very high. People have been hunting them for quite some time, and they're selling out very quickly. So I was very pleased to get one this week, along with the two other ones that I'm eventually going to sell. The Morpher itself, I'm very happy with. It is expensive, so I wouldn't think any child would be able to talk their parents into getting it. And it's made of a lot of sort of heavy-duty materials. You can tell even from like the coins and everything else that it's certainly not. I don't think it's one of the more child-friendly things in the world as far as Power Rangers is concerned. But I'm very pleased with it. If you're thinking about getting one, I'd certainly recommend it. As I mentioned before, I personally wouldn't recommend it for cosplay use because the weight of it would hold the belt down. But as far as certainly display purposes, if you have a Morpher just sort of lying around, or if it's lodged into its buckle and it's sort of just there on display, or even if it was reversed into its Drew Ranger stance, I mean, personally I think that looks even better, to be honest. But either way, I mean, it's a fantastic piece. I would recommend getting it. A lot of people have said, and I was one of the people who said, well, if I've got the original '93 release, why would I need another Morpher? Why would I need this version of the Morpher when I've got the original one? And quite frankly, the changes that they've made with the die-cast plates, the metal coins, the heavy-duty just weight of it, and the whole look of it is just... It looks more something like you'd see used as a prop in a movie than a toy that they used to use on the TV shows. So I would strongly recommend getting one. And you know what? If you're looking for the '93 one and you can't track it down at a reasonable price, or you don't want to pay that much for a piece of plastic, I'd strongly recommend getting this one over the original. By all means, if you see the 93 one, grab it. I've been lucky enough to collect enough to have one for each coin, but I was very lucky. Here in the UK, they don't pop up on eBay very often. When they do, they don't go for particularly expensive prices. So I was very lucky in that respect. All in all, very pleased with it. Happy I picked it up, considering how concerned I was originally over the actual prop. And yeah, just very pleased, to be honest. I can't really say more than that. It's got everything you'd really want. It's got almost a real style Morpher feel to it. It's not as light as the plastic one. You aren't afraid that you're going to break or anything because of the die-cast pieces. You've got the holster with the clips on the back, which just add to it, along with the metal coins, which they look so good. I mean, it is remarkable, and you do get a lot with your money. My only regret, again, is the fact that there wasn't a Green Ranger 1 release, which I personally probably would have picked up, as well as this. I wouldn't get one or the other, I'd probably get both. Just me being me. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. I honestly don't know when my next video is going to be. I don't see it being anywhere in the near future, perfectly honest. I'm just being honest with you guys. I haven't got any current cosplays in the works. I haven't got any props in the works that I know of. I do order a lot of stuff all the time, so I don't always manage to keep track of it in my head. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my review of the Power Rangers Legacy Morpher. Pick it up if you can. Get them while they last, because from what I've read, it's only speculation, but they aren't going to last forever once they're gone. I think they're going to be gone. They won't be making many more. Anyway, guys, that's it from me, and I'll catch you as always next time.